Have you ever sat in silence staring at the ceiling, wondering why your life hasn't turned out the way you dreamt it would? Have you ever felt that heavy weight in your chest, the one that whispers, maybe next year, maybe tomorrow, maybe when the world stops spinning? I'm here to tell you, stop waiting. Stop postponing your destiny. Stop holding back the fire inside you because the calendar says you have time. Life doesn't wait. Opportunities don't wait. The people you love, the dreams you carry, the future you imagine, they are all impatiently waiting for you to act. If you think 2026 will be different without you doing the work now, I need you to hear me loud and clear. Nothing changes until you take responsibility today. Your life isn't a rehearsal, it's the main event. Every moment you waste waiting for the perfect date, the perfect situation, the perfect someday is a moment stolen from your purpose, your calling, your power. There is a voice inside you, quiet, persistent, demanding attention. That voice is your future trying to break through the noise of excuses, fear, and hesitation. Don't silence it. Don't push it aside. Look in the mirror and confront yourself. What are you ignoring? What are you leaving unfinished? What are you tolerating in your life that is keeping you from the greatness you were born for? Don't wait for 2026 to arrive like some magical reset button. Don't think the year will change your life. You change your life. Today, right now, in this very moment, you have the power to step into your destiny. You want to see transformation? If you want to feel the thrill of growth, if you want to rise above fear and doubt, you must fix these 5 things before another day passes. These aren't just tips or suggestions. These are lifelines. These are the keys that unlock freedom, power, and the life you've always wanted. And when you do this, when you face yourself, when you make the tough choices, you will not just enter 2026, you will own it. Have you ever noticed how some people smile when you struggle, yet call it support? They call it concern, they call it advice, they call it love. But deep down, they are quietly celebrating your pain. They thrive on your hesitation, your doubts, your fears. Every setback you experience becomes a secret source of satisfaction for them. And the tragedy is, it can be so subtle that you don't even notice it at first. You think they care. You think they are rooting for you, but their words are laced with judgment. Their compliments hollow. Their encouragement conditional. These are the people who, if you succeed too quickly, will look away, minimize your victory, or even make excuses to bring you down. They want you to believe they are helping, but in reality, they are feeding off your struggles. You have to recognize them. You have to see the truth. Pain disguised as concern is a wolf in sheep's clothing. And if you don't remove it from your life, it will slowly poison your spirit, your confidence, your drive. You need to understand that this isn't just about them, it's about you. Your energy, your focus, your emotions are precious. Every moment you spend entertaining people who secretly delight in your setbacks is a moment stolen from your growth. You cannot afford that. You cannot afford to let disguised malice or subtle envy dictate your self-worth or your progress. It's time to set boundaries. It's time to protect your mind, your heart, your dreams. These people will smile to your face, but cheer quietly in the shadows when you fail. And the moment you achieve something extraordinary, instead of celebrating, they will find ways to minimize it, to make you doubt it, to remind you of how imperfect your journey still is. Their concern is a mask. Their advice, a trap. And you have to be strong enough to see it, to recognize it, to refuse it. The hardest part about this is that these are often the people you trust the most. They are friends, colleagues, family members even. And because you trust them, you absorb their energy, their words, their disguised criticism as truth. You start doubting yourself. You start questioning your decisions. You start believing the lies they feed you while pretending to be helpful. This is why it's crucial to develop discernment, the kind that pierces the veil of pretense. You must learn to separate genuine support from hidden sabotage. You must learn to protect your heart and your mind. If you allow this kind of energy to linger, it will stunt your growth, dim your potential, and make your victories feel smaller than they really are. You deserve better. You deserve authenticity. You deserve people who celebrate you without hidden agendas. Pain disguised as concern is insidious because it often comes wrapped in loving words. I just want what's best for you, they say. Be careful, you don't want to fail, they warn. And while it may sound protective, it is a subtle way of controlling you, keeping you small, and making your pain their pleasure. The key to breaking free is awareness. Awareness allows you to see through the mask. Awareness allows you to recognize that not everyone cheering is on your side, that not every smile is genuine, and that sometimes the people closest to you may be secretly rooting for your downfall. When you understand this, you take power back. You no longer hand over your energy to those who feed on your struggles. You no longer allow their disguised delight to shape your emotions. You no longer let them define your worth or your journey. When you confront this reality, you start to set boundaries. Boundaries are not mean. They are not cruel. They are necessary. They protect your mind, your heart, your dreams. And when you enforce them, something remarkable happens. You feel lighter, stronger, more in control. You realize that your energy is a resource, and you are no longer giving it away to people who secretly want to see you fail. You start to thrive in spaces where encouragement is genuine, where support is real, where the victories are celebrated without hidden agendas. You learn the difference between those who lift you up and those who subtly drag you down. And once you understand this, nothing disguised as concern can touch your spirit. You must also understand the lesson here. Their disguised concern says more about them than it does about you. It reveals their insecurity, their envy, their fear of your potential. They are afraid of what you can become because they haven't faced their own limitations. But you cannot let their hidden delight in your pain become your reality. You must rise above it. You must refuse to internalize their disguised judgment. You must refuse to let their silent celebration of your setbacks define your path. You are stronger than their hidden agendas, smarter than their manipulations, and capable of far more than their disguised criticism can ever imagine. The next time someone masks their envy as concern, watch closely. Listen carefully. Feel the energy. You will notice the subtle ways they celebrate your pain, the hesitation in their tone, the way they minimize your accomplishments, the quiet relief when things go wrong. They can't completely hide it. And when you see it, acknowledge it, confront it, and step away. Don't argue, don't explain, don't justify yourself. Protect your energy, protect your joy, protect your journey. Surround yourself with people whose excitement for you is genuine, whose joy for your victories is loud and undeniable. Those are the people who will push you forward, not hold you back under the guise of concern. Remember, the world is full of people who wear masks. Some are easy to spot, some are subtle, and some are painfully close to your heart. But your responsibility is to yourself, not to their illusions. Your responsibility is to protect your growth, protect your peace, and protect your purpose. When you start to recognize those who celebrate your pain in disguise, you gain power. You gain freedom. You gain the ability to step fully into your potential without the weight of their hidden agendas holding you down. Pain disguised as concern is one of the most dangerous forms of manipulation. It can make you question yourself. It can make you doubt your choices. It can make you believe you are unworthy of success. But once you see it, once you acknowledge it, once you refuse it, it loses its power. Your confidence grows, your clarity strengthens, and your journey becomes unstoppable. You learn to protect your space, your mind, and your energy like the precious treasures they are. Finally, understand this. You do not need approval from those who celebrate your pain. You do not need validation from those who secretly rejoice in your struggles. Your worth is not tied to their disguised delight, and your success is not dependent on their approval. Walk away from disguised concern, embrace genuine support, and watch as your life transforms. The people who cheer for you will elevate you. The people who celebrate your pain in disguise will fade away, and you, unstoppable, unshaken, and fully alive, will rise to heights they could only dream of. Some people in your life act like mentors, like guides, like beacons of wisdom, but in reality, they are anchors trying to keep you from sailing. They disguise limitation as advice, fear as caution, and control as care. When they speak, you think they are opening doors for you, but they are often building walls around you instead. They tell you to wait, to think twice, to be realistic. And before you know it, months, maybe years have passed, and you're still standing in the same spot, still waiting, still doubting, still shrinking while they applaud your hesitation. Their guidance isn't meant to elevate you, it's meant to contain you. And the sad part, you may love them, respect them, or even depend on them. But loving them or respecting them does not give them the right to dim your potential or slow your progress. True guides push you forward even when it's uncomfortable. Fake guides hold you back and dress it up as wisdom. And it's high time you learn to distinguish between the two. It's easy to fall into the trap because they are convincing. They speak the language of logic, caution, and responsibility. But their logic is a leash, their caution a chain, and their responsibility a trap. You listen to them, you take notes, you hesitate, and in that hesitation, your opportunity passes you by. They may even frame their restrictions as protection, as if the world is too dangerous for you to fully live, too harsh for you to fully step out. But that's not protection. That's fear disguised as guidance. And fear has no place in the life of someone who is meant to rise. You cannot allow someone else's fear to become your ceiling. You cannot allow their doubts to dictate the limits of your potential. You must break free, and it begins with awareness. When someone pretends to guide but secretly holds you back, it feels subtle at first. A delay here, a warning there, a careful reminder not to overreach. It feels like minor advice. But over time it accumulates, and suddenly you realize you have been standing still while everyone else moves forward. Their care becomes chains, their concern becomes a cage. And the worst part? Because they are close to you, maybe even someone you admire, you begin to internalize it. You begin to doubt yourself. You begin to believe that maybe they are right. Maybe you aren't ready. Maybe the world is too much for you. That is the insidious power of disguised restriction. It makes you question your own ability, your own timing, and your own courage. The truth is, real guidance challenges you. Real guidance provokes discomfort. Real guidance pushes you into growth, even if it's painful. It demands courage, persistence, and faith in yourself. Fake guidance, the kind that holds you back while pretending to lead, thrives on your hesitation. It enjoys seeing you second guess, watching you shrink into safety, applauding your self-imposed limits. And the only way to break free is to stop taking instructions at face value. Question motives. Observe actions. Listen to the energy behind the words. If the guidance feels like a chain, it probably is. Holding someone back while pretending to guide is often done with smiles, compliments, and encouragement that sound sincere. You're talented, but maybe not ready yet, they say. I wouldn't do it that way if I were you, they suggest. And you start to absorb it, thinking they are helping, but what they are really doing is planting doubt, eroding confidence, and creating dependence. They want you to consult them, to get permission, to seek approval before you act. And in doing so, they control your pace, your choices, and ultimately, your destiny. You have to wake up to this reality. You have to start seeing the difference between those who build doors and those who build walls. You have to recognize that some people will smile at your ambition, but secretly hope you fail. They may even disguise their sabotage as wisdom, but you can see through it if you are paying attention. The energy behind the words matters more than the words themselves. True support liberates. Fake support confines. And if you want to thrive, if you want to become unstoppable, you must align yourself with those who open doors, not those who hold you back under the guise of guidance. The moment you start seeing the truth, your life changes. Boundaries become your armor, awareness becomes your compass, and discernment becomes your superpower. You stop giving your energy to people who manipulate your potential under the guise of care. You start investing in relationships that elevate, challenge, and propel you forward. You stop waiting for permission and start taking action. You stop shrinking to fit the comfort of others and start growing to match your destiny. Remember, growth never waits for someone else's approval, your purpose, your calling, your dreams. They do not ask for permission. And if someone is holding you back while pretending to guide, you are giving away your power by listening to them. You must reclaim it. You must step into your own authority, trust your own judgment, and act with courage. Because the world is not waiting for them to decide if you're ready. The world is waiting for you to rise. It's painful to recognize that those we trust may secretly hold us back, but pain is a teacher and awareness is a weapon. Once you see it, once you confront it, you gain clarity. You understand that the opinions and cautions of those who hold you back are not facts. They are fears. And fear has no authority over your life unless you allow it. Step out, move forward, and let the fake guides fade away. Your life is too precious to be dictated by someone else's hidden agenda. Finally, understand this. The people who truly guide you will stretch you, challenge you, and push you toward discomfort and growth. The people who pretend to guide you while holding you back will always try to shrink your world, and your choice is clear. Follow the chains or follow your own courage. Follow the doubts or follow your destiny. Follow someone else's disguised limitations or step boldly into your own limitless power. Choose wisely. Because your life, your potential, and your greatness are worth more than disguised guidance. Have you ever noticed how some people wrap criticism in a bow of encouragement? They smile, they nod, they say the right words, but underneath they are quietly tearing you down. Every friendly suggestion and constructive feedback can be a disguised attack on your confidence, a subtle attempt to make you question your worth. They make you feel like they are helping, like they are cheering you on, but in reality, they are celebrating your mistakes. Their words are soft, their tone gentle, but the effect is corrosive. Slowly, day by day, you start doubting yourself. You begin to replay their remarks in your head, analyzing every word, every glance, every sigh. You feel inadequate even when you know deep down you are capable. And the most dangerous part, because it is hidden in encouragement, you don't recognize it until it has already taken root in your mind. The insidious power of quiet criticism disguised as support lies in how persuasive it is. It makes you question your choices, your abilities, and even your dreams. You start thinking, maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I should hold back. And as you hesitate, as you doubt yourself, they quietly celebrate the victory of your uncertainty. This isn't just about someone being mean. It's about understanding human nature and recognizing that not everyone who smiles at you wants to see you rise. Some people are uncomfortable with your potential. Some people feel threatened by your ambition. And instead of facing their own insecurities, they mask their envy with a cloak of concern and advice. You must learn to see the difference. When someone criticizes you under the guise of encouragement, it can be hard to separate truth from manipulation. They may point out flaws, highlight mistakes, or offer unsolicited advice. At first, it seems helpful. You nod, you smile, you thank them. But inside, you feel a subtle shrinking of your spirit. You start to weigh every decision against their hidden judgment. You start to lose confidence in your instincts. And what's worse, you begin to look outside yourself for validation instead of trusting your own wisdom. The quiet attacks chip away at your self-assurance until you're second-guessing every move you make. The key to overcoming this is awareness. Awareness allows you to notice patterns, to see energy behind words, to detect hidden motives. Encouragement should lift you, not make you feel small. It should make you believe in your power, not plant seeds of doubt. When someone's words consistently make you question yourself, it is not guidance. It is disguised criticism. And when you recognize it, you take power back. You stop allowing subtle attacks to define your self-worth. You start filtering what you hear through the lens of truth, not fear. You start trusting yourself again. It's important to understand that quiet criticism can come from people you love, respect, or admire. It may be a colleague, a friend, a family member. Their hidden delight in your mistakes is not about you, it's about them. It's about their fear that you will outgrow them, surpass them, or expose their own limitations. They are uncomfortable with your potential. And instead of facing their own shortcomings, they project doubt onto you. This is not your burden to carry. You must step out of their shadow and reclaim your confidence. When you face this reality, you begin to set boundaries. You start limiting the influence of those who make you feel small. You surround yourself with people who genuinely celebrate your victories, who lift you when you stumble, who challenge you without diminishing your spirit. Real encouragement does not come with strings attached. Real support never quietly cheers for your failures. Real guidance builds you, strengthens you, and empowers you to rise. Criticism disguised as encouragement is particularly dangerous because it is often wrapped in truth. There may be something valid in what they say, but it is poisoned by hidden motives. And the poison is subtle. It seeps into your mind, makes you question your value, and erodes your courage. You must develop discernment strong enough to separate genuine truth from destructive manipulation. Your confidence, your dreams, and your peace depend on it. Once you start filtering out disguised criticism, your life transforms. You regain clarity, you regain confidence, you stop overanalyzing every word, every glance, every opinion. You learn to trust your instincts, your vision, and your purpose. You begin to step boldly into your potential, knowing that your worth is not determined by the quiet judgments of others. You must also understand that when someone criticizes you quietly while pretending to encourage, it says nothing about your abilities, it says everything about their insecurities. They are afraid of your rise, intimidated by your ambition, and threatened by your courage. And their hidden celebration of your setbacks has no power unless you give it space in your mind. Refuse to give it space. Protect your energy, protect your spirit, and protect your journey. Finally, remember this. Real encouragement is loud, genuine, and uplifting. It does not shrink you or plant doubt. Disguised criticism is a trap, a hidden attempt to hold you back while pretending to help. Learn to see it, confront it, and step away from it. Surround yourself with those who celebrate your victories without hesitation. Let go of those who secretly cheer for your pain. And as you do, watch yourself rise to heights they could only dream of. Unstoppable, unshaken, and fully alive. Have you ever poured your heart, your time, and your energy into something only to feel a subtle resistance from the people around you? They smile, they nod, they tell you to keep going, and yet their actions quietly undermine everything you're building. They pretend to be your support system, but behind closed doors, they belittle your ambitions, question your choices, and whisper doubts that can slowly seep into your own mind. This kind of disguised sabotage is more dangerous than open criticism because it hides in plain sight. You feel loved, you feel encouraged, and yet every step you take forward feels heavier, harder, slower, as if the universe itself is conspiring against you. And sometimes it is, but not in the mystical sense. The conspiracy is human. It comes from those who smile at your face but secretly hope you fail. And if you don't recognize it, you risk letting their hidden agenda dictate your life. The most painful part is that these are often the people closest to you. Friends, family, mentors, people you trust. You rely on their support, you seek their approval, you believe in their guidance. And while some may genuinely want the best for you, others wear the mask of encouragement while quietly celebrating every setback, every hesitation, every moment of self-doubt. It is subtle, yet effective. You begin to internalize their quiet undermining as truth. You start questioning your decisions, doubting your abilities, and hesitating when bold action is required. Slowly, you shrink in confidence, and the very energy you pour into your dreams is siphoned away by the hidden agendas of others. Pretending to support while secretly undermining is a tactic rooted in fear and envy. They are afraid you will outshine them, surpass them, or leave them behind. Instead of celebrating your progress, they feel threatened by it. And rather than confronting their insecurities, they manipulate yours. Every backhanded compliment, every helpful suggestion, every quiet remark that seems innocent is a tool to maintain control over your growth. And if you allow it, it can define your trajectory. You cannot afford to let someone else's fear sabotage your ambitions. You must recognize it, acknowledge it, and protect yourself. One of the reasons this form of sabotage is so dangerous is because it is invisible to many. Unlike overt criticism, there are no obvious attacks. There are smiles, nods, and soft words that make you think all is well. But actions often betray intent. You may notice small delays, passive-aggressive advice, or subtle ways they diminish your efforts. A project you've poured yourself into might be ignored, minimized, or subtly sabotaged. A goal you're chasing might be questioned under the guise of care, and all of this chips away at your spirit if you do not have the discernment to see it. The first step in breaking free is awareness. Awareness allows you to notice patterns, to observe the energy behind the words, and to recognize whose support is genuine. Genuine support amplifies your efforts, celebrates your wins, and stands by you through challenges. Disguised sabotage does the opposite. It masks envy and fear as concern. It disguises judgment as advice, and it whispers doubt when it should shout encouragement. Once you can identify this, you reclaim your power. You no longer hand over your confidence to those who secretly wish for your failure. Boundaries are essential. You must protect your energy, your focus, and your ambition from those who undermine while pretending to support. Setting boundaries does not make you unkind, it makes you wise. It allows you to filter out destructive influence and surround yourself with people whose energy matches the life you are building. You deserve relationships that elevate you, not subtly weigh you down. You deserve allies, not hidden saboteurs. And the moment you realize this, everything begins to shift. You also need to trust yourself. When others subtly undermine you, it is easy to begin doubting your own instincts. You second-guess decisions, question your abilities, and hesitate before action. But your gut, your vision, and your determination are your best guides. No disguised sabotage can succeed if you remain anchored in your purpose and confident in your abilities. Recognize the pattern, stay true to your path, and act decisively. Understanding the motives behind disguised undermining helps you detach from it emotionally. It is not about you. It is about their fear, jealousy, and insecurity. Once you see this clearly, it loses its power. You no longer react emotionally, no longer internalize their subtle jabs, and no longer allow it to dictate your pace or shake your confidence. You reclaim your authority over your own journey. As you distance yourself from disguise, sabotage, you begin to flourish. Your energy becomes your own, your focus sharpens, and your ambition grows unencumbered. You begin to take risks without hesitation, celebrate your wins without restraint, and pursue your goals with unwavering confidence. The people who once disguised their undermining will fall away, and you will rise in freedom and clarity. Finally, remember this. Life is too precious to be weighed down by people who pretend to support you while secretly holding you back. Protect your dreams, protect your energy, and protect your spirit. Surround yourself with genuine supporters. Celebrate yourself relentlessly and act boldly. When you do, the hidden sabotage of others loses all power, and your life unfolds with unstoppable momentum, unshaken confidence, and unyielding purpose. Have you ever felt pulled in 100 different directions by people who claim to have your best interests at heart? They offer advice, opportunities, favors, and connections, but instead of helping, they distract you. They fill your mind with noise, your schedule with unnecessary tasks, and your heart with doubt disguised as concern. They want you busy, exhausted, and confused, because in that state, you cannot move forward with clarity or purpose. They may call it guidance or support, but what it really is a quiet strategy to keep you from your destiny. Every suggestion they make, every favor they offer, every meeting they insist you attend, even if seemingly harmless, is a way to siphon your energy and delay your growth. And if you don't see it, it will cost you time, focus, and the life you were meant to live. Distraction disguised as help is dangerous because it appeals to your desire to trust, to be polite, to be grateful. You don't want to offend them. You want to believe they are sincere. So you follow their lead, you listen to their advice, and slowly, without realizing it, you start chasing their priorities instead of your own. Your dreams get pushed to the back burner. Your focus weakens. Your ambition is diluted. Distraction feels weakens. Your ambition is diluted. And all the while they smile, nod, and say, I'm just helping you. But their help is not meant to lift you. It's meant to slow you down. And the longer you allow it, the more you lose, time you can never reclaim. The subtlety of this distraction is what makes it deadly. They are clever. They don't shout instructions or demand attention. They offer helpful tips, endless discussions, and constant suggestions that seem reasonable. You think, maybe they're right, maybe I should listen. And before you know it, you are drowning in advice that pulls you away from your own path. They are like a storm that seems gentle at first, only to sweep away everything you have worked to build. The question is, will you notice it before it's too late? One of the most heartbreaking parts about distraction disguised as help is how easily it makes you doubt yourself. You begin to wonder if you are moving too fast, thinking too boldly, or aiming too high. You start to second guess your priorities. You question whether your goals are realistic. And in that self-doubt, your energy that should be directed toward your dreams is wasted on trying to satisfy someone else's hidden agenda. They want to keep you occupied, confused, and dependent, because a distracted mind cannot reach its full potential. The key to breaking free is clarity. You must define your own goals, set your own priorities, and guard your focus like it is sacred. Anything or anyone that pulls you away from that clarity is not helping. They are distracting. The world is full of people who love the idea of helping but have no real interest in seeing you succeed. Awareness is your first weapon. When you recognize distraction disguised as help, you gain power. You take back control of your time, your energy, and your purpose. Boundaries become essential. You must learn to say no, not because you are selfish, but because your life, your vision, and your destiny demand it. Protecting your focus is not rude. It is necessary. Refuse to let others' disguised help dictate your schedule, cloud your mind, or dilute your ambition. When you enforce these boundaries, you reclaim energy that propels you forward instead of scattering it in directions that do not serve your growth. Trust yourself. You know when someone's support is genuine and when it is a distraction. Listen to your instincts. If advice or guidance feels like it pulls you away from your path instead of toward it, it is not help. Ignore the polite pressure, the persuasive suggestions, and the subtle guilt. They are tactics to keep you off your course. Trust that your purpose is clearer to you than anyone else. Distraction disguised as help often comes from well-meaning people too, and that makes it even harder to identify. Sometimes their intentions are sincere, but they lack vision or understanding of your path. You must protect yourself anyway. Your focus is sacred. Your dreams are non-negotiable. Their help cannot replace the clarity and commitment that comes from fully owning your journey. When you remove distractions, your progress accelerates. Every step you take is deliberate, every decision aligned with your purpose, every action a move toward the life you were meant to live. You are no longer wandering in a maze of advice, suggestions, and tasks that serve someone else's agenda. You are focused, empowered, and unstoppable. Finally, remember this: life is too short to allow disguised help to steer you away from your destiny. Protect your focus, guard your energy, surround yourself with people who genuinely lift you, challenge you, and empower you to move forward. When you do, the distractions fade away, your path becomes clear, and your potential becomes unstoppable. Your life is yours to live. Don't let anyone pretend to help while quietly keeping you from your greatness. As we come to the close of this moment, I want you to take a deep breath and really hear me. Life is not a waiting game. Your dreams, your purpose, your calling, they are not going to wait for the calendar to change, for the clock to strike midnight, or for some magical, perfect moment. The truth is, the perfect moment is now. If there are people in your life who smile while you struggle, who pretend to guide but secretly hold you back, who criticize quietly under the guise of encouragement, who undermine your efforts while pretending to support, or who distract you while pretending to help, it is time to see them clearly. Life is too short and your potential too precious to hand over your power to anyone who does not genuinely wish to see you rise. You must protect your energy. You must protect your dreams. You must protect your mind, your heart, and your spirit. The subtle ways people can drain you, manipulate you, or distract you are often hidden behind smiles, soft words, and seemingly caring gestures. And the danger lies not in what they say, but in how it seeps into your thoughts and shapes your actions. Every moment spent second guessing, every ounce of energy given to hidden agendas, every dream postponed because someone else's fear tried to hold you back. Those moments are gone forever. The world doesn't pause, and neither can you. Recognize that your growth, your success, and your happiness are your responsibility. Surround yourself with people who celebrate you without hidden agendas, who push you forward without fear, who genuinely lift you toward your potential. Listen to their encouragement. Let it strengthen you and let it inspire you to take bold steps. And at the same time, have the courage to step away from those who secretly rejoice in your setbacks, who manipulate disguised as concern, or who distract while pretending to help. Your life is sacred. Your focus is sacred. Your purpose is non-negotiable. Guard it fiercely. When you do this, when you remove the subtle obstacles, when you trust yourself, when you reclaim your energy, something incredible happens. You begin to move with clarity, confidence, and unstoppable momentum. The doubts planted by others lose their power. The fear that used to hold you back fades away. And you begin to see the life you are capable of living. Not someday, not next year, but right now. Every choice becomes deliberate. Every action becomes purposeful. Every dream becomes achievable. So, don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for next year. Start today. Clear the path, protect your focus, and rise above the disguised obstacles that have held you down. Your time is now. Your potential is limitless. And the life you are meant to live is waiting for your courage, your discipline, and your faith. Step into it boldly. Step into it confidently. Step into it without apology. Thank you for allowing me to speak to your heart today. May you rise above every disguised obstacle. May your focus remain unshakable. And may your journey be filled with unstoppable growth, abundant joy, and unwavering purpose. God bless you, and may your life be transformed by the courage you choose to embrace today.